Did you ever expressly communicate to them that you theorized, at least, that this all could be connected? That there's something about the way the metal works.
Oh, we all knew that. We all knew that. Because we'd get requests from other groups. And you could tell they're desperate just like we are and fighting against the system.
What kind of requests would you get?
Just exactly what we found out, where is the energy being transferred here? If the reactor fires up, is there a field present around it, or is the field just absorbed into the emitter and you can touch the, reactor itself? And I just little things like that, if and actually that was an important thing. When the reactor's operating, is it perfectly tuned, the emitter, to where it removes all the energy from the reactor and pushes it out the bottom? And the answer to that was no. I remember that as a specific request from one of the groups. The metallurgy group is the one that we really wanted to hear from. And some of the I don't even know what some of the other groups were. But
how many groups were there?
I don't know. There were only 22 people there total, including myself. So,
I would like for you to tell Joe, one of the things that also interested me, because I built the craft, is how the waveguide worked with the ceiling and in the interior, and how it blended. If you can explain, there was no telescopic.
Well, this is why we wanted to talk to the metallurgist people. The reactor that sits on the bottom of the craft has a little dome over it, and there's something that looks like a pipe that's slight. You can lift it up and take the reactor out, put the reactor in and lift it down. But like a antenna works on an old walkie-talkie.
Mm-hmm.
It has different sections.
There it is. There's from the video.
There it is.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can retract the pipe, but there's no sections and it doesn't get any thicker. It just becomes smaller. And if you look underneath, where the emitters hang down, they turn. It doesn't buckle. It's a magical material. This is the basis of the craft. Is really the material that it's made of. It's amazing the way it works. You can push it into a smaller volume, and it doesn't change at all. It doesn't get bigger physically. It's I don't really know how to describe it.
So you're lifting the pipe up and down, but it's not going anywhere?
Look, if you had a big pipe
mm-hmm.
and you push it together, it has to get thicker.
Right.
Because the material has to go somewhere. This doesn't. Okay? It stays in exactly the same dimensions. It just becomes smaller.
How?
Well,
yeah.
Because you couldn't talk to the metallurgist, so you have no idea.
Yeah, but those guys knew how.
They did know how.
Well,
they know it did it.
They know it did it, and that's their job. So I imagine they have more information than I did. But that was fascinating. It really was. And the waveguides that hold the emitters, they come down, and the emitters can turn and bend, and the pipes bend, and nothing changes in them. And there's no wires or anything to make the pipe bend. I'm trying to relate it to something, but I can't think of anything to relate it to.
Well, one thing that you said that I also thought was fascinating, there's no seams. So everything looks like it's 3D printed.
Again, right, it comes down to the material.
Which at the time, 3D printers weren't real, right?
Yeah, at the time that really confused me. I said, how did they build this? It must have been built out of wax or something and then melted, because you can't build anything without seams. And then 3D printing came into existence, and you could build stuff from layers up. That made sense. Some sort of 3D printer, or they grew it, in some. Of course, it's not a crystalline fashion, but I don't know how that was fabricated, but it was fabricated different than anything that we have. I don't even think it was 3D printed.
And so you never got any inkling or any understanding of what the metal was, what kind of an alloy, what it consisted of?
All I can say, it was cold to the touch because when I touched it, but I can't say if it was a ceramic or I'd say it was metal because it was cold.
Because it looks like metal. And
It
this
looks like metal.
this is the Designs by Perry version of it. How much does that look like it?
No, that's 100%. That's it. Yeah,
it's got
that's
to
it.
have the first ripple supposed to be
yeah,
black.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. So
Luigi has gone over this.
I mean, I
so
built
many
this thing.
times.
So
Yeah,
there's
an insulator ring in
Right.
there.
Jamie,
black-
show what it looks like in the film. If you could show one of the images.
I don't. I was pulling it off the trailer, and I don't. They might not. They've been holding that back. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, on the trailer,
There's a
couple of
ring.
shots.
I got it, I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, there's a ring around it, and we
That-
measured the voltage on the craft, and there was a high voltage on it. And above that ring, there is
This is
none.
not a good shot. There's
Yeah,
probably
it's
a.
very quick, man.
This is the original trailer. It's the new trailer that would actually, yeah, that one there, and you'll get to see it right there. Actually, right after this, well, it's actually before this, I believe. You're gonna see the craft, and if you see, there's a black, right? There's like a black line. It's the first ripple. That's actually not metal.
Yeah,
It's-
we call that there it is. That's a good shot. We call that the insulator ring because below that there's a high voltage present on the craft all the time, and above that there isn't.